If you're newer to the game of golf and you're looking to get out on course, but you're not quite sure how to do that, or if you're already on course and you're struggling to get your score anywhere near 100, I'm going to give you 3 easy tips here in this video today to help you practice, play, and just get out there to be better and enjoy the game of golf. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is the clubs you have in your bag. Now, first off, you'll start off with 14 clubs is the actual legal limit. But I see a lot of golfers on course that wind up just buying club after club, and they'll have 20 or so clubs out on course. I think that's a big mistake right off the bat. I personally have 14 clubs, 13 I swing in a putter. The reason for that is my spacing is gapped out where I can hit anything from about 50 yards all the way up to about 280 yards in 10 to 15 yard increments. But I've been doing this a long time. I'm not new to the game. I'm usually breaking 100. Now, if you want to start getting your score lower, you need to drop some of these clubs out of there. And I've actually got a bag set up where I've got your key 6 clubs you're going to need. You need a driver, a 5-wood, some type of long iron, a 6 or a 7, a 9 iron or pitching wedge, something to chip with like a 50, 52 degree wedge, and a putter. These are going to be the key clubs that you need to be able to swing. You don't need to have all these different guesses in your bag. If you're new, you're probably not hitting shots consistent distances anyway. Just get stuff you're comfortable swinging with, and that's going to help out your score immensely once you're on course. All right, now that we've got your core 6 clubs, 5 that you're going to be swinging and a putter ready to go, you're ready to start practicing. Definitely want to make sure you're hitting the driving range when you can. It's going to help you practice and figure out how to get playing on course. If you're only on course and you think that's practice, it's definitely not. It's pressure packed. There's a lot of anxiety. If you start compounding bad shots, you're not really working on things in a repetitive motion to help your golf swing get better. Now, I've got my key 6 clubs set up in my bag here. This is actually my wife's set of clubs to show that it doesn't matter the equipment you're using. I've got a 9 iron to start with here for my session on the range. And what I'd want to do is come out here and just make sure I'm swinging nice and easy. Now, one of the mistakes I see a lot of newer golfers make is they see people like me coming out, they see me set up, swing nice and hard, and just crush one up the middle. And while that looks cool for me, there's zero pressure on you as a newer golfer or a higher handicap golfer to need to do that. You don't need to be swinging out of your shoes, and you may not be in the same physical condition I am. If I'm watching someone on tour like a Rory McIlroy, they're swinging well out of their shoes, hitting the ball well past me in a manner I just can't do. It's kind of the same thing for some of our newer golfers. You need to learn just how to make good contact with the ball. What I recommend in practice and in play on the course is just set up to the ball like you normally would, and instead of taking the club way to the back, you don't have to do anything crazy like that. Just come up to a nice even level where your arms are parallel and then follow through to a similar level. And what you want to feel in this scenario is just a nice contact with the ball. Now, as you're doing this, one of the big things that's going to be important on this is tempo. What tempo is I see a lot of golfers that come out and they're just swinging as hard as they can, trying to hit the ball, and they miss it all the time on the club face. Get it the hosel, fat it, thin it, hit it off the toe. If you have better tempo, it's going to increase the likelihood that you hit the ball where you want to hit it. And tempo is simply just making sure you're just nice and easy through the ball. One of the biggest keys to shooting a better score in your round of golf is going to be just hitting the ball forward, making sure it's in a nice straight path and getting it to the hole. The more you do to swing harder, the more you're going to do to lose it left and right and have more penalties. This same kind of tempo thing works with all the clubs in your bags. It could be a driver, a 5-wood, or anything. I have this nice old 5-wood that my wife has in her bag. Still has a steel shaft. It's an older club. Pretty sure this is from the early 90s. Like I said, same concept here. I could swing really hard and hit this really far, or same thing. I can just set up to the ball and just practice hitting it nice and straight, getting it out the middle. And as you get better at that, you can start swinging harder and faster. But that is something you can do on course that'll help you score better, have more fun, and keep up with your other playing partners. All right, the third and last tip I have for a newer golfer, or someone that's been shooting just ridiculously high scores, to make sure you're practicing chipping and putting. I know we just went practice on the range. A lot of people just stop there and go home. You've got to put in real time chipping and putting. If you've heard the Tiger Woods story before, his dad taught him putting, chipping, and just worked out from there until he got the bigger clubs. Most of us aren't going to do that. We're not that patient. But if you want to be better at golf, this is where the work has to go in. Chipping is something, especially for a newer golfer, you can super simplify. You don't have to be one of these people who are getting these big swings in hoping to hit the ball crazy hard. You can literally just get over the ball, get this leading part of the club down into the ground, and then just hit it with like a putting stroke where you feel like your wrists are straight and your arms move like you're hitting a putt. Keep your head down over the ball, don't get too excited, and just give it a chip. And something that simple, go in. That would have been nice. And something this simple is really going to simplify the game in a way that'll allow you to chip on the green, hopefully get more 2 or even 3 putts to lower that score drastically. Getting on the green is probably the hardest thing. You're hitting the ball forward with the other shots, and I see so many people that just get so nervous and so excited, and then they just thin it way over the green. They're chasing it back and forth, completely out of breath. This is the way to avoid that dilemma altogether. Now let's say this pin right in front of me is more what I'm going for, it's a little shorter. There might be some of you thinking, oh, I see these guys that hit these big high shots that lands right by the pin. And no, same thing. Get over the ball, get that toe on the ground, and just hit it with a nice putt. It may go well past the hole, but it's on the green and you'll be having an opportunity to putt at it from there. That's going to be the most important key. Now, once you're done chipping, putting just as important. Just so you guys understand me as a person that practices multiple times a week, I come out for about an hour and a half at a time, which maybe not everybody has, but I allocate about 30 to 45 minutes on the range, 30 to 45 minutes chipping, and about 15 to 25 minutes putting. That way I'm getting all of the reps I need in on all the important clubs. It's important though for this part for putting. If you need more time here, that's fine. I see so many new golfers get over the ball, they don't practice putting, and they just think hit it and it just flows by where their intended target is, and they're just struggling to get the ball in the hole. You really want to come out and take your time. Putting is just as simple as making sure you're hitting it nice and soft. You don't need to necessarily kill it past the flag. You don't even necessarily need to get it near the hole. Just get it to the point where you have a chance to make the putt. Practice this repetitively as well, and you'll see your scores start to drop and drop and drop. Before you know it, you'll be ready to start practicing more, getting better equipment, and you'll have to watch more of my videos, figure out how to get even better yet. Really hope you've enjoyed this content. There's so much more that goes into the golf swing and practicing, but these are basic tips you can start executing right away to get on course, to play better golf. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, see all our videos coming up in the future, and give me a big like if you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.